These are the primary differences between hosts that are making great money and those that aren't making any money, all right? There are 5 really simple concepts or mistakes that people make, and they're obvious once I tell them to you, trust me. These are the primary differences between hosts that are making great money and those that aren't making any money, all right? There are 5 really simple concepts or mistakes that people make, and they're obvious once I tell them to you, trust me, but most people aren't doing these things or they're not doing them right, all right? So number one, biggest mistake I see people making is not focused on guest experience. Lack of focus on guest experience. Here's what I mean. Let me give you a few examples, all right? Watching cameras. I've worked with a lot of homeowners that I've hosted for who love watching the cameras. They love seeing the guests arrive and letting me know that they brought a pet or there's too many people there or they're having trouble putting the door code in, and that's just creepy. Stop watching your guests on the camera. Just let them enjoy your house. Just leave them alone. Use the cameras if something happens to investigate the history of the event. Maybe there's some evidence there, but don't just sit around and watch it. It's gross. Stop. Other example, finding guests, looking for nickels and dimes during their stay. Like, they already paid for staying there. You don't need to find them because they brought a pet. Honestly, you don't, unless the cleaners charge you extra money for doing extra cleaning. In that case, you can say, hey, you guys brought a pet, you didn't tell me, and it actually cost me more money, so I'm gonna have to request that from you. But you know what? You could also just be super cool and not do it if there's no real damage, because letting them enjoy the stay, letting them just get what they paid for in the house, maybe even a little bit extra, is a great way to rack up good reviews, and those reviews are ultimately what give you money, all right? One more example, not fixing problems ASAP, right? Piece of outdoor furniture breaks. Fix it. It's in the photos. They want to sit in it. Just fix it, all right? Something in that microwave stops working. Send them one. Literally, Amazon them a microwave if someone can't run it to the house right away, right? Stop delaying fixing problems with the property. It's affecting the guest experience. You need to be obsessed with the guest experience. You need to be hospitable, not hostile towards the guests. I get it, it's your house. They need to treat it with respect, but you also want to make money, and that means treating the guests with respect. Okay, number 2 biggest mistake, not enough amenities, all right? These people are on vacation most of the time, right? Even if they're not, it's still nice to have cool stuff, like a pool table. If there's more than one person that's gonna stay there, and you got a pool table, they're gonna play it, and that's an enjoyable thing to do. Nice mattresses, right? Don't just get the cheapest things you can buy, the budget towels and mattresses and linens that you've maybe found on Facebook Marketplace. Stop shopping on Facebook Marketplace for your property, all right? Arcade games, shuffleboards, fun stuff, all right? Heat your pool if you have one, all right? Not doing cool amenities, not doing enough amenities. Most people do that. Most people just don't provide a lot of amenities. They kind of provide a crash pad, actually. It's what I like to call the cheap theory. People think that if I just do this cheap, if I do this really cheaply, I buy this cheap house, I put cheap furniture in it, and then I'll make whatever money I make will be a lot more as a percentage of my cost basis, and therefore high ROI. Look at me, I'm a math genius, right? That's not how it works though, because when you do everything cheaply, you get cheap guests. You're also competing with a bunch of other people who had the same idea, and now the only thing you're competing on to get guests is price. It's a race to the bottom and making very little money. So that's the number 2 mistake. This almost always circles back to the guests, by the way, and their experience, these top 5 mistakes. All right, the number 3 biggest mistake I see people making is their photos. Number 1, you don't have enough. I guarantee it. Yes, I'm talking to you. You don't have enough of them, okay? You should be showing everything you have. You have a pack and play, take it out of the closet, unfold it, set it up, take a picture of it. You got a high chair, take a picture of it. I don't know how many times I've had this conversation where I'm talking to Airbnb owners and I'm telling them, I'm giving them advice on what they need to do to perform better. I'm like, one of the things, like get a pack and play and get a high chair, be family friendly. Like, oh, we have that. I'm like, no, you don't, because it's not in the pictures. If it is not in the pictures, it doesn't exist. Take more pictures. Number 2, stage the house. Stage it professionally. Or like you're gonna use it, okay? Uncover the grill. I see that so much, all right? Take out the pack and play. Set up the table, turn on the fire pit, pour a glass of wine, set the place up like it's ready for use, okay? So don't just take more photos, take stage photos. Hire some models or actors to use the house while you're taking it with smiles on their face, loving your property. This works, okay? Because very few people are doing it, and the ones that are getting the bookings, all right? It's the most important thing you have, the most important marketing asset you have are your photos, all right? So take good ones, take a lot of them, take photos of a staged property and use a high quality camera, preferably a high quality photographer. They're expensive, but they're worth it. It's the best investment you can make. Just do it, please, just do it. Don't go through all this work and all this money installing amenities, bending over backwards to be accommodating towards your guests. Don't do all of that and then not take good photos of your place. This is gonna be controversial, but number 4, biggest mistake, it's negotiating with cleaners, all right? Don't do it. I stopped. I used to do it because they are expensive. Cleaners make literally more money than any of us, or at least they collect the most revenue, I think. Here's the issue. I have seen what poor cleaning costs or what good cleaning makes you, and it's literally tens of thousands of dollars a year, all right? Good quality cleaning will increase your top line revenue by tens of thousands of dollars a year. I actually did another video on this. I did basically a accidental but very scientific experiment on this matter, and I can say with complete confidence and near 100% certainty that good quality cleaning earns you tens of thousands of dollars or more a year than you otherwise would. And once I personally learned that lesson the hard way, I stopped negotiating with cleaners and I pivoted my focus to, I apply all my cleaning hiring resources, if you will, towards identifying great high quality cleaners. I find them. I have this thing called the closest and cleanest method where I just approach cleaners while they're cleaning homes that I know have a really good track record of being rated clean by guests consistently, like 30 plus 5-star cleanliness ratings of similar homes on Airbnb that are nearby to mine. Literally just approach the cleaners when they're cleaning the home, be like, you want some more work? And usually they're like, yeah, sure I do, right? I'm like, great, go see my house, give me a bid. They go see the house, they give me a bid, I say you're hired, and then I give them bonuses for 5-star cleans. That's my approach now because I know it's worth it to just have great quality cleaners. And instead of trying to control the heck out of them with negotiating the price and all this stuff and, like do this checklist every time you show up, yada, yada, yada. I'm not saying I don't have any accountability tools. I've minimized them a lot and refocused my efforts to just finding people who don't need all that crap. They just do a good job. They show up and they do a good job every time, regardless of how many checklists I make them do or what our price negotiate. Like they don't need any of that. They just show up and they care about their work and they do a good job every time. That's all I look for, and I pay whatever it costs. It's worth it. All right. So stop negotiating with cleaners. Don't do that. Just pay them. Just pay what they're worth. All right. Which leads me to number 5, and just really adds on to negotiating with cleaners. It's this focus on expenses instead of revenue. And I'm not saying you should ignore expenses, but I see a lot of hosts, a lot of homeowners that are way more focused on keeping costs down than they are on keeping revenue up. And when you kind of shift your mindset to constantly thinking, how can I generate more revenue? Guess what? Any effort that generates more revenue, any initiative, almost always costs money. It's a physical thing that costs money, all right? Or it's a service that costs money, right? They all cost money. And also keeping the house in good repair costs money too, right? All of it costs money, but when you start thinking of it in terms of like this generates revenue, then it looks more like an investment than a cost, all right? So hyper focus on revenue, less of a focus, not zero, but less of a focus on cost, all right? And I always see it, I see it quite often, it's flipped. They're hyper focused on cost and very minimally focused on revenue until they realize they're losing money and they're like, I need to make more money. And they act that way, and then you tell them, I have these conversations with people where I'm like, okay, here's the things you can do to make more money, and here's what it costs. And they're just like stone-faced, they're like, no, more money without doing all that. Doesn't work. Focus on things that generate revenue. Guess what? They cost money, they're investments. Think that way. Think about ways to generate more revenue. It's amenities, it's guest experience, it's having a clean home, it's having your home in good repair, all right? And you doing those things right, then you can start adding other things like, having really cool pricing management theories that maximize the dollar amount you get per night, your average daily rate, right? In order to do things like that, you have to be doing everything else right first and avoiding these 5 mistakes, doing the opposite, doing the right things. Then you can do so much more, right? Your search engine optimization, your pricing management, your price slabs, it doesn't matter. Don't even set up your price slabs until your guests are having a good experience, your house is always staying clean, you're well amenitized, you have photos. All that other stuff doesn't even matter until you're doing these things the right way. So all that said, if you want some free resources on my photography staging checklist, things you need to do every time you take photos or anytime you take photos of your Airbnb, my essentials checklist, which has all the basic amenities that every Airbnb absolutely must have, tons of other stuff, go to the resources page on my website, phoebevacationrentals.com. I got all kinds of free stuff that is stuff that me and my team learned over the years the hard way, and so now you don't have to learn it that way. You can learn it the easy way by just using my free resources. I give these away because I want you to be a better host, and with any luck, maybe we'll work together one day and I can really help you out personally through my business. Otherwise, enjoy the resources, be a better host, go make money with Airbnb. There's plenty of it out there for the people that are doing things right. If you enjoyed my content, please like, subscribe, share. I love doing that stuff. Leave comments. I am responsive. If you've got ideas I've never heard of, I want to hear them. Let's engage. Let's learn from each other. And thanks for watching.